Hey, boys and girls, we have been learning about metal as a traditional craft material. So today we're going to be drawing some metal robots. And in order to make our robots, we are first going to talk about shapes. And specifically, we're going to talk about geometric shapes because the shape is really just an outline of something, what its shape is, what it looks like. But a geometric shape is a special shape that has a name, and we learn about them even in math class. So a geometric shape, an example might be a circle, maybe a square, maybe a rectangle. A rectangle is a lot like a square. It's just a little bit longer on one end. I think one more geometric shape that we should be able to find or know is a triangle. These are the geometric shapes. They're made with mostly, except for the circle, they're made with straight lines. Or if it's a circle, it's a perfect circle. And these are shapes that we see around us all the time and everywhere. For example, a roll of tape might be shaped like a circle. Or this notepad is shaped like a square. This box of crayons is shaped like a rectangle. Triangles are sometimes hard to find. I looked around my house to try to find something that was like a triangle. This is what I was able to find. It's got a triangle shape to it. Is there anything around your house that you can find that is a geometric shape? Once you have your geometric objects, we are going to be using these and tracing these to start our robot drawings. Now, depending on what shapes you have to draw, that's how your robot's going to end up looking. So I think I'm going to do more than one example just so you can see that your robot can look different. It doesn't have to look exactly like what I'm making. So I'm going to do two separate examples here just so you get a better idea of how these can look very different. So the first thing you're going to do is take these geometric shapes, place it in the center of your paper, and you are going to trace that shape. You have to hold it with one hand and then put your pencil down and let your pencil drag along the outside edge all the way around this shape. There's a circle. Now, if you were using a rectangle for your example, you could also use a square or a triangle, whichever shape you choose. I'm showing you an example with a circle, and I'm also going to show you an example with a rectangle. Okay, now that we have our shape started, we get to pick a second shape for the head of our robot. This is going to end up being the body of the robot. Now at the top, we're going to add a head. Now for that, you can either add a square. I'm just going to use my own hand here without tracing. I'm going to draw a square at the top for my head over here. On this round one, what's another shape that I could use? I think I'm going to use a rectangle up here. Nice, long, skinny rectangle. Okay, so we have a body and a head. Now we're going to add some arms. In order to add our arms, first we're going to make little half circles. So it's almost like you're drawing a circle shape, but half of it. And this is going to be where your arms come out of. And then once I have those, I'm going to make my arms come out in curves. They're going to curve. They almost look like noodles. You do that by drawing two lines that are next to each other. They don't touch. You're just going to follow that same shape. Two curvy lines like this. And I'm going to close those ends off. So those are arms over here. That's if I wanted to do curvy arms. Maybe you don't want to do curvy arms. Maybe you just want to do straight arms. So if I'm going to do straight arms, I'm still going to make my two curves here. But maybe I'm just going to make straight arms that come out. Straight, straight, and across. Now we're going to make little robot hands. Sometimes robots have like these little, almost like Lego man hands. They're like a little C shape. C. And then I'm going to make a little smaller C shape or a smaller half circle inside there. And connect it closed. And the same thing up here, just like a Lego man hand. If you ever play with Lego guys at home, they have these little rainbow almost shapes. And maybe you don't want Lego robot hands. Maybe you want robot hands that pinch the other way, like a crane machine. If you've ever gone to Chuck E. Cheese and played with the crane machine, they come out and in. Or like this one over here, same thing. They're going to go out and in, and then I'm just going to make a little rectangle on the inside. They have little grabber hands. Okay, time for some robot legs here. So maybe my robot just has plain old rectangle legs. Just making two long, skinny rectangles, just like that, where my legs would go. Maybe instead of having rectangle legs, maybe your robot has a wheel that it rolls around on or something. So I'm going to make a curve coming off of the bottom of my robot here. And I'm just going to put a little circle at the bottom. This is like the little wheel that my robot can roll around on. Okay, I think our robots need some more details. I think it's time to add some faces. You can use any shapes that you can think of to make your robot faces. Maybe your robot has circle eyes. And maybe a big, long oval. Maybe your robot even has something that looks like a mouth or teeth. Maybe your robot doesn't have ears. Maybe it has antennas. Or let's see, maybe your robot has rectangle eyes. And a rectangle mouth. Maybe instead of having a division in the mouth that looks like teeth, maybe it looks like waves. And maybe instead of having antennas on the side, it has an antenna on the top of his head. Maybe there's two antennas there. Maybe one antenna is crooked. So all you have to do is continue to think about what kind of shapes are there. And maybe you want to add, usually when robots have these arms, I like adding these little lines here, like a pattern. Maybe there's a pattern you want to add somewhere to your robot. Or if there's any other buttons or gadgets or details that you can think of, anything that you can imagine. Use your imagination and have fun creating your own robot that started with our geometric shapes.